There we go. Hello, everybody. GuineaPigDan here. Maybe I should switch to my GuineaPigDan shirt just because people like that shirt. But I'm just wearing a regular red shirt. I also have red shorts on, so I don't know. It'll probably look like I'm just wearing one really long outfit or something. But I know, kind of on a more somber topic. Today is August 6th, and it's the year anniversary of Dragoneer's death. For I don't know, in case you didn't know who Dragoneer was, he was the former owner of Fur Affinity, and I thought of like doing. If you check the pinned um, comment I posted, I decided to a link to a COVID charity because for those of you who don't know, Dragoneer, if you go past his, look back at his old tweets, I think in December 2022, he had gotten sick with COVID, and it became long COVID, and like for about a year and a half or so, he was. You just read his, go through his Twitter timeline, search Dragoneer COVID or something, or on either Twitter/X or whatever you want to call it, or Blue Sky, and you'll see that he was dealing with a lot of very serious health problems, and a lot of high medical bills and everything until he finally gave out on last year. And it was pretty sad, and I don't know. I don't want to like rain on anyone's parade. One of the things I just did was rewatch a video by a furry YouTuber named Lagovert. It was a video he did, well, according to the website, like 4 years ago on like all of Dragoneer's weird controversies, and I don't want to like speak ill of the dead or whatever, but let's be honest, Dragoneer had a lot of problems, um, and there was a comment I remember seeing that's basically like, if you look at the comments that were left on Lagovert's videos before August 6th of last year, it's like basically everybody was dunking on Dragoneer and saying he did not run FA very well, but after he died, like suddenly he became a saint of the furry fandom. I don't want to like shit on people that have happy experiences with Dragoneer or anything, but it's just I don't like idealizing people even in death. Let's be honest, Dragoneer did a lot of kind of crappy things. There's some things in Lagovert's video that are kind of petty, like some sort of Olive Garden incident that happened around 2000 or something, and then one time Dragoneer made sock puppets to, I don't know, embiggen his ego or something. It's like, those are pretty minor compared to some of the other controversies Dragoneer was involved in that just watch the video or search old threads talking about these controversies. I don't want to say things that I don't know Twitch might not be happy with me saying. Yeah, has it really been a year since the forfeiting tragedy? Yeah, it has. Um, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of really really weird things that in the Lagovert video that I don't know. Like, I didn't know Dragoneer personally. I did meet him like once at Further Confusion 2015, just saying hi to him and getting his street pass on my 3DS, or should I say my 2DS? Yeah, I had a 2DS. And funnily, Dragoneer's me said FA is down. Foo. That was kind of funny, but it's like I don't know. On one hand, you don't want to like turn people into saints after they die, but on the other hand, the way Dragoneer died, no one should die like that. And his experience being crushed by medical bills and everything is something that can happen to anyone. And I'm probably going to go on a little bit of a political rant. I've got a yeah, he was far from perfect, but gave us well, technically, Fur Affinity was founded by someone named I think Alcora, It's just that Dragoneer bought the website off of him like a year after it was created, if I remember. But I'm trying to decide where should I start first. Yeah, like I should probably close those. Yeah, I saw this on Blue Sky earlier. I just retweeted it or reposted it from a guy Bar Godzilla Blue Sky, and their icon looks like Snagglepuss saying Murgatroyd. It's frustrating that people are overlooking the fact that Dragoneer suffered from a debilitating long COVID symptoms for years leading up to his death. But I guess at this point, I'm not surprised. Everybody is just one bad roll of the dice away from a serious chronic illness. Please protect yourself. And I guess I'll get into the angry political rant section. Because, let's see. Shoot, there's a... I have to organize these windows just a moment. I should close Discord, just so... Close that. I gotta organize everything. I was gonna Google stuff the White House has posted about COVID, and I accidentally found that there's an archive of Joe Biden's like White House page. Yeah, and yeah, it says Biden White House archives, and it's like COVID-19 preparation plan, preparedness. I can't say that word, but it's like all this stuff about protecting and treating COVID-19, just talking about the variants and everything, and vaccination. Yeah, and his blueprint and everything. Now let us compare that to Trump administration 2.0. This is the White House website. Yeah, I just searched COVID, and the first result is lab leak, the true origins of COVID-19. Yeah, now we're going to get into the Alex Jonesy stuff. And you can see, like, they just put a very awkward photo of Trump right there in between the word lab leak. I don't know, it makes it look more like Trump was responsible for the lab leak, if anything. I don't know. The proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 publication, which was repeatedly by public health officials in the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was promoted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated naturally. And basically, they just go on and on about the conspiracy that it came from the virus lab in Wuhan. And, yeah, like, let's just do mask mandates. Well, right off the bat, bashing masks. Is there like, bashing lockdowns? I mean, well, Governor Andrew Cuomo did genuinely fuck up with his COVID response. I think it was like there was a scandal where, like, he didn't like. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I think he mishandled the hospitals or something and got more people sick. But it's like we have this conspiracy theory about COVID coming from a lab, saying masks are ineffective and quote unquote misinformation that basically. Well, let's not forget that Trump is the guy that said that we should, what was it, inject bleach or something to treat COVID or something like that. And looking at keeping education accessible and ending COVID-19 vaccine mandates in schools. Like, if you search COVID on the White House website, it's things like this: reinstating service members discharged under military's COVID-19 vaccination mandate. Now, given that, when you're in the military, you might be sent into different countries around the world, requiring people to get vaccinated is probably a good idea. I remember when I took my Europe trip in 2006, like, I had to get vaccinated. I don't remember what it was, if it was hepatitis or something else, but it's like you're going into another continent, you should probably get a shot for, something, and I don't remember what it was for, though. But it's like things like let's just entertain the idea that COVID was made in a lab, Like, not just it was a natural virus that leaked out of the lab, but like it was a deliberate bioweapon. Let's just go full Alex Jones here. I mean, if you really did believe that, why is it that this was some sort of attack from China? Like, why would you be promoting things like celebrating, mask mandates ending or vaccine mandates ending? Like, why wouldn't you like try to fight this virus? And it's not just that. We also have not. I'll talk about Albert Pike in a moment. I have Robert Kennedy. Like, this was just something. RFK Jr. made promising statements on long COVID. Too bad the rest of his plans undercut them. Oh, that's from January. I had a more recent article that just dropped. Here we go. Public health experts dismayed by RFK Jr.'s defunding of mRNA vaccine research from NPR. The Trump administration is canceling over almost $500 million in contracts to develop mRNA vaccines to protect the U.S. against future viral threats. The move thrilled critics of the technology, but horrified many of public health and biosecurity experts. The Federal Bioadvanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, which oversees the nation's defenses against biological attacks, is terminating 22 contracts with university researchers and private companies to develop new uses for mRNA technology. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy announced Tuesday the mRNA technology was used by the first Trump administration to create the most commonly used COVID-19 vaccines, which are widely considered a medical triumph. That safety and effectively saved millions of lives, but vaccine mandates under the pandemic sowed fierce antipathy toward the technology, leading to a widespread public opposition. That is one of the ironies that Operation Warp Speed, that the efforts to develop these COVID vaccines started during Trump's first administration, but then a lot of his supporters became anti-vaccine. And there's that one video several years ago where Trump was at a rally saying, telling people, take the vaccine, and then his crowd, the crowd started booing him. So that kind of just shows you the direction where his cultists are going in. But it's telling people to get vaccinated, and the whole Jeff Epstein thing that's finally making them turn against their master. And I'll just let me be absolutely clear. HHS supports safe, effective vaccines for every American who wants them. Kennedy said, I should say this in Kennedy's voice. Let me be absolutely clear. HHS supports safe, effective vaccines for every American who wants them. Kennedy said in the video explaining the decision. That's why we're moving beyond the limitations of mRNA vaccines for respiratory viruses and investing in better solutions. And it basically has the reactions of health people basically calling out Robert Kennedy on his bullshit, because you go over his past record on vaccines. We're having things like measles outbreaks occurring in the United States. Diseases that we had basically gotten under control, but Robert Kennedy comes in and discouraging vaccinations, and now we have these diseases coming back. And I don't want to be doomer or anything, but it's like this is something we have to be serious about with Trump appointing all these anti-vaccine lunatics. And let's also not forget one of the dumbest things Robert Kennedy said. COVID, Jews, and Chinese. Yeah. This was back in 2023. There was a leaked video where Robert Kennedy was saying that Jews and Chinese people, they are more likely to be immune to COVID. Like a really harebrained claim. Like this is kind of another irony that Trump is cracking down on people that criticize Israel, and yet, in saying, if you protest Israel, what they're doing to the Palestinians, you're an anti-Semite. But then he has this type of people working for him, saying things that, the Jews and the Chinese are secretly immune to COVID or something. And let's also not forget that Trump himself, according to ex-employee Jack O'Donnell, said that Trump was saying he'd rather the short people in yarmulkes count his money back in the 90s. So Trump is not exactly pro-Jewish himself, despite having a Jewish daughter-in-law. or not daughter, Jewish daughter. Yeah. Why did I say? I was thinking Jared Kushner. Sorry, his son-in-law. Yeah. I mean, a lot of crazy people in the government right now. I mean that's and and COVID. Though I don't want to like if there's anyone in my audience that's had COVID or has long COVID or something, like I don't want to be alarmist, but there's effects like COVID can do, like not just damage to your lungs. It's like it can do damage to your brain, damage to your heart, damage to your organs. It can do a lot of. It's not just another flu or another cold or whatever. Yeah, so this is not something that should be taken lightly. And you just, I don't know. Trump is just going cuckoo right now. I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, they say they want to make Americans healthy again. And, we got the thing about, what was it? Robert Kennedy wanted to remove, like, I think a certain dye from, like, Skittles, or I might be, or like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like, something I read recently. What was it? Like, Trump was, like, bragging about, I don't know, using cane sugar or something in Coca-Cola or something. Like, the most petty things, but you have Robert Kennedy talking about, we need to improve our diets or whatever, and I don't know, you're just getting contradictory messaging here. Yeah, shit's just going crazy right now. Yeah, and is there anything else I want to? Yeah, that's from August. Yeah, that's from May. Yeah, so there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now, and I want to, and that's not even getting into things like Elon Musk, like in Doge cutting cancer research or something like that. Like again, contradicting Robert Kennedy's whole "we got to be healthy again," but then cutting cancer research at the same time, and I don't know. Yeah, and I'm I just want to also, like, there are groups that support people that have long COVID. Like, I found this website, Long COVID Alliance, and then I found, this is the group I pinned, Long COVID Families. This is for supporting kids with long COVID, and I made a donation. So if anyone else, I'd encourage you to make a donation as well. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's kind of a dark topic to talk about. Just, I don't know, our own government is trying to kill us. Just how about we talk about something a bit happier? I'm sorry to just go on about something like pretty crazy. You know, let's before I start the art commission section, where I work on Ken the Nekomata's animation. I went to a flea market on Sunday, and I guess I'll show off some of what I bought, just as a palate cleanser. One of the things I got, this is a Snoopy plushie. What's interesting is I had a Snoopy plushie like this as a kid, but I don't know if this is the same size, but that Snoopy plushie I had as a kid, like, I don't know what happened to it, if we threw it away or I lost it or something, but I found this, and I decided to get this as a replacement. But the thing is, I remember the old Snoopy plushie. I thought it was, like, maybe bigger than this. I didn't know if it was, like, the same size, but I showed this to my dad, and he was like, no, this is the same size. It's just, I guess as a kid, this plushie seemed a lot bigger in my memory. So, it feels strange to, like, see it wasn't as big as I remembered, but still, I'm glad to have this kind of a replacement for an old doll I lost. Kind of like the Garfield doll I have here. This was another plushie I had as a kid that I lost, and then I found a replacement. So it's nice to have these again. Snoopy canonically can use his ears like helicopter blades. I remember. I'm trying to remember, like, which TV special that was, but I maybe it was the one where like where Charlie Brown is playing, like, this football game or something, and Snoopy is, like, doing a helicopter ears to like film it or something. And I think that special like ends with it's supposed to be an important football game, but of course Lucy can't resist and pulls the football away from Charlie Brown, and everyone blames Charlie Brown for losing the game, even though it was Lucy who played the dirty trick on Charlie Brown. And I think that particular Peanuts special is like considered one of their worst ones. Like I haven't watched any of the Peanuts specials in years. I saw a video that was like ranking them, and I think that one was like on the bottom or something. Okay, I'll just put exercise. Excuse me, Garfield up there. That's kind of strange to say. Excuse me, to say there's a Garfield that exercises. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I saw the Peanuts movie. I forgot. Snoopy inflates himself. Yeah, and then I also got a Figment plushie because I know that there are a lot of furries like Ellie Geckos that really like Figment. I think it says on this tag. I'm afraid to remove the tag because I don't know. This could be a collectible, maybe. Well, let's see if there's a copyright date on this. The tag. No, there is no copyright date. I guess I could just Google Figment plush and someone on eBay will say how old this is. Oh shit, I forgot. Like looking at my computer screen, I had one thing still open. The Confederate Albert Pike's return is a warning to Black America. It was an article about like Trump honoring a guy named Albert Pike, who was a Confederate general, extremely racist. But the thing I remembered about Albert Pike was like, I saw him come up in like some Freemasonic conspiracy theories. The article I'm reading here on MSN, it mentions he was a Freemason. So yeah, that's kind of another irony that Trump is aligning himself with Christian nationalists, but here he is honoring a Freemason who a lot of Christian fundamentalists and sedevacantist, well, not just sedevacant, but radical right-wing Catholics that reject Vatican II, like these groups tend to really hate Freemasons, and yet here's, their God Emperor Trump honoring a Freemason. I don't know. Sorry to inject another political thing, but it was something I had up that I forgot to mention. But let's look up Figment plushies. Let's see if I can find. Okay, I think I found the one. This looks like it. Yeah, there we go. This looks like the plushie I have. Like, I think Figment is like supposed to be some sort of mascot for Disney World. Actually, wait, this isn't exactly the same because I noticed the horns here are like smooth, and this one they've got grooves. Plus, Figment's shirt, it's black text here, and then the picture here, it's red text. Okay, so maybe that's not exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of Figment plushes. Is it this? No, this one had black text, but the mouth is closed. This one, yeah, I wanted to find a Figment plush. Let's see if I can find the one I have. I just want to find out what year this is from. This looks kind of similar. That looks like a custom-made one. Like, wow, there's so much Figment merchandise here. You'd think that, like, I don't know, Figment was a character that appears in a lot of Disney cartoons, but as far as I know, like, I think he's only just a mascot in Disney World. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to ask someone in Ellie Geckos' in his group, and maybe there's someone that knows Figment lore better than I do, or obsessively like collects plushies and dates all of them. This kind of looks like no, the eyes are different on that one. Oh wait, okay, that actually looks like the one I own. I just want to know what year is this. Like, is this from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s? I don't know. what's this? Federal University of Agriculture. Well, let's see if the eggheads at this university know what year this is. Oh, it's just a bunch of shoes. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, never mind about that. I don't know what year this Figment plush comes from, but if anyone knows, I'd like to find out. But then here's another thing I bought. I don't know what this character is supposed to be. Like, does anyone recognize who this thing is supposed to be? He's got this little... I can make him... swing his arms. That's what it does, but... There's a reason I got this unusual looking character. Let me show something off. Let me get something really quick. And I'll explain why I got this odd figurine. Yeah, that's the one. Here it is. Might as well. Okay, the reason why I got that odd figurine, this is going to sound kind of weird. Now, last year I went to GalaxyCon, and you know, I've mentioned this comic before, Secret Wars, the 1984 Secret Wars, not the 2015 one, or the upcoming movie. But anyway, something really neat. I met the artist for Secret Wars, John Beatty, and since I have my own superhero dog character, Perry, I asked him advice on like what you know, would he have any pointers on, you know, like drawing a superhero dog character, and he said to make Perry more muscular. And you know, I'm kind of sad to say that I kind of resisted when John Beatty suggested that. Like, I don't want Perry to be like a big... I don't want to make people think he's got superhero, like Superman levels of strength, but thinking about it, it's like, maybe just for fun I should try and, you know, do a version of Perry where he does look like much more muscular. And but with Perry's design, he's supposed to have like enlarged forearms and legs. Do I have a drawing of Perry I can show? Oh. For those of you who don't know who my character Perry is, I guess... Oh, well, I can just show my... I can show my iPad. What am I thinking? Okay. Or I can just show one of my commissions, but I want to show my own artwork. Okay, other characters. Okay, so with my Sundog character Perry, I don't know if my iPad's gonna... He's supposed to have a ball of light in his hand, but it's kind of inspired by Mega Man and House Pets. His legs and his arms are kind of enlarged, so he has really big hands and big feet paws. And the reason I got this thing was to be a kind of a 3D reference for like drawing really, really big arms and big leg muscles, you know, just to get the proportions right. So if I want, like, I want to show Perry flexing, I can kind of, you know, I can Google like pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger or other bodybuilders like with big muscular arms, but having something like this gives me at least a 3D reference I can look at, even if it's a toy, just to give an idea of like, you know, like, look at these thick guns. Now, I'm not sure if I'll make give Perry like a super wide chest like this if I draw him in like more like a traditional Western superhero, but you know, this gives me kind of an idea of what I do with a 3D model. Like, I don't know if I have any Superman toys or something I could like maybe I could get one from like Target or Walmart, find us, because you know that's the recent superhero movie that's out right now. Although I want something more muscular like this, Just so I could, like, I don't know, draw Perry as a 90s anti-hero or something. But anyway, let's go back to, like, the other stuff I bought in the flea market. I'm getting distracted. I also bought a lot of books. Yeah, some Garfield, old Garfield books. Yeah. What's funny is a friend of mine showed me a meme of Garfield saying, "Fuck this, I'm out of here," and it was this picture of this picture of Garfield just jumping off the earth. And I was curious, where did that come from? And I found that it came from this book, Garfield in Space. And I think this also comes with a cassette tape to listen to. And it would have been recorded in the early 80s. And what's interesting is they have Lorenzo Music as the voice of Garfield, but John's voice is different. I think, let me look up John's voices. The guy that voiced John was Tom Hughey, I think his name was, on Garfield and Friends. But originally, let me see, Here Comes Garfield. John, the first time they were voiced was the Fantastic Funnies, where Garfield was voiced, I think, by a guy named Scott Beach. And then when they did, and the voice of John on Fantastic Funnies, it sounds like Tom Hughey, I'm not sure. But then they switched to someone else for Here Comes Garfield, his first TV special. That's where they got Lorenzo Music to voice Garfield. But for John, they have a guy named Sandy Ken. Let me bring this up. Voice actors. Sandy Kenyon was the voice of John, and weirdly he kind of looks a bit like John also, just a little older. And then for Garfield in Space, like the audio tape had like a different voice, not Sandy Kenyon. It was like someone else voicing John, but they still had Lorenzo Music, and it's kind of strange. And then another book, Garfield the Pirate, and then Garfield the Knight in Shining Armor. And this is a book that has it says on the title page that this is supposed to have an audio tape with it. And so maybe if I search YouTube, I could find maybe a recording of I'm gonna guess it's probably Lorenzo Music mostly acting this out. Let me search Garfield the Knight in Shining Armor. I thought I heard. Let's see. Let me go to YouTube. Garfield in Space. Yep, read along. Oh God. Ads.
I heard they put these 2,000 CDs ads.
Yeah, what's... Okay, this is interesting. Like, let me go in window within a window mode again. Like, if you look at... now, I didn't know that this book was as little as it was. Let's see if I can actually find that meme, Garfield saying, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." There it is. That's the meme I'm thinking of. Fuck this shit, I'm out of here. That's... I was shown that, and then I found out it's a modification of this book cover. But what's strange, I wonder if there was like multiple versions of this book that came out, because here on the cover, here it's just a plain cover, 125 in the corner, that corner, Random House, and no kid stuff in the corner. But here the cover is different. They've got kid stuff in the corner, and then it says at the bottom, "See the pictures here and read the story." So I guess there were maybe two versions of this book that came out. So this one without that had no audio recording or audio tape, and then this version did come with an audio tape. It's the same year though, 1983. And I don't know if it would be copyrighted or something. And another difference. Just looking at the scans here. In the storybook, the no audio tape version, you see that they have the text on one page and then an illustration on the other. But the audio version of the book, they change it. It's less pages. They have the illustrations and the text at the bottom. Would it trigger copyright if I just played a bit of the audio? You can hear John's different voice here. It even has like
Early one morning,
Garfield music.
John sent Garfield out to fetch the newspaper.
Go fetch the newspaper, Garfield.
Work, work, work. That's all I do around here. And what thanks do I get?
Yeah. A very different voice for John. It does not sound like Sandy Kenyon or Tom Hughey. Maybe the comments say who did the voice of John. Wait, Lorenzo Music was part of this! You can see I uploaded some comments here. I'm just trying to see if anyone mentions is who voiced John here. I guess nobody. If anyone in the comments watching this knows who voiced John, I'm gonna be amazed that you just figured it out just listening to a few seconds of that. But I don't know if Garfield the Pirate has an audio tape. But let's see if I can find Garfield the Knight in Shining Armor. See if that has its audio tape on YouTube. The Knight in Shining Armor, and I see Garfield's Picnic Adventure in the corner here. Right there, and I actually had that book as a kid and the audio tape, but the audio tape is now lost, so I just have the book. So, official audio. Okay, so this is probably the version with the tape. I'm gonna silence that just, so there's no copyright. I don't know if anyone cares to I don't know, protect the copyright on a Garfield book that's been out of print for what, 30, almost 40 years now. That's how old this book would be. But I'll give this a listen later. I'm gonna guess that probably they got. Yeah, it says Lorenzo Music and Unknown. Well, thank you to the voice of Unknown for, I guess, voicing the dragon in this book. But anyway, oh, Streamboo comes back to haunt me. Okay. Accomplished Dembasies. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I don't want your spam. There. Fuck this shit, that spam is out of here. Hello, Super Ultra Maru Maru. Hello there. Another first-time chatter. Yeah, I was actually just showing off. I just talked about. It's the 1-year anniversary of Dragoneer's death, and in case you're not aware, Dragoneer got COVID in 2022 and succumbed to it last year. And I have a COVID charity in the pinned comments. Yeah, and right now I'm on a much lighter topic, showing off some stuff I got at from a flea market. I just showed off a Snoopy and a Figment from Disney plushie. Now I'm showing off some Garfield books I got. Garfield in Space, Garfield the Pirate, Garfield the Knight in Shining Armor, and also Donald Duck in Shining Armor. Look at that. Yeah, I got 2 books on knights fighting dragons. But here's the thing: this book is in German, however. So I just got it because the illustrations. If I wanted to read this, I just go to Google Translate or something. Yeah. Ich werde dich mit Arbeit überhoffen, bis sich wieder erholt hat. That's Scrooge McDuck saying, I don't know what. Probably saying, stay the fuck out of my garden, maybe. Just trying to guess based on context or something. Yeah. Yeah, but if I wanted to draw Disney-style dragons, I've got some good references here. Like, it does kind of remind me of my Japanese dragon Basho, since he's also green. Yeah, my throat's getting a bit... just from talking so much. I'm gonna guess this is dragon gold in German or something. Like, let me just see what this says in Google Translate. Wait, what's... Oh, I thought I saw some sort of meme with 2004 Garfield, so German to English. This is Lustiges Tas. Oh, well, the dragon covers up. I'm gonna guess maybe it's Disney magazine or something, or Disney comics. Let's just Lust. I just realized. Lust. Funny stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Funny paperback. Okay, so... And then bottom, I'm gonna guess is Dragon Gold, so let me... Dragon... Or... Dragon Gold. Yeah, well... Let's actually hear it pronounced.
Lustiges Taschenbuch. Drachengold.
Okay, so that's how I say it. Lustiges Taschenbuch. I'm not going to even try and pronounce German. I'm sorry. I have an aunt that lived in Germany for a while, and she learned German. And the funny thing is, like, I think it was during a family trip to Alaska in '98 or '99 where I met this aunt, and one of my first questions for her was, "Hey, does German have swear words?" And she's like, "Oh yes, ficken and shite." And that was the first time I learned that other languages have swear words. So I have a pretty cool aunt. Like, maybe I should show her this book, like, the next time I see her, and ask if she remembers enough German to read this, and maybe translate it for me. I don't know. I just saw, just flipping through, kind of a drawing that made me... Oh shoot, where did I see it? It's like I saw a character that had, like, Garfield stripes on the back of their head, but they're yellow. Let me see if I can find it. It's like, I don't know. Even when I'm reading something that isn't Garfield, I see Garfield. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's just some duck with, like... I can't see what... There we go. It's just a duck with a fancy hairdo, but it's like... It looks like Garfield stripes, almost. Yeah. And also, bought some old comic books as well. Like, I don't know, Fallen Angels. They don't look like angels to me. Something with Doctor Doom on it. I mean, they're going to do Avengers Doomsday pretty soon. I thought, get a Doctor Doom comic. And then, I don't know, Big Stompy Dragon. I bet Ben the Dragon would probably like this issue. Alright, and I think that's all I got. Alright. I'm trying to think. There's like a bunch of other stuff I've gotten from flea markets that's pretty neat. I've shown these off a few times and on Blue Sky. These Pogo figurines I have. I've got these like a year or two ago. I don't remember. Excuse me, but like the table I got these from, they also had a Howlin' Owl and Porcupine, but those figurines like weren't in very good condition, and I just went with these ones. But I'm not. I think they were. The copyright date says 1969, so I'm gonna guess that maybe these were released to coincide with the Pogo birthday special that aired in 1969, a 2D animated special for Pogo's 20th anniversary, and one of the Pogo books I have says that Walt Kelly, Pogo's creator, basically really hated that special. I think they had a Chuck Jones from Looney Tunes as a supervisor animator or something, and I guess Walt Kelly wasn't very happy with his style or something, and so Walt Kelly tried to do his own animated project, Pogo, We Have Met the Enemy and He Is Us, which was going to be an environmentalist themed cartoon, but unfortunately Walt Kelly died before he could finish it. And if you go on Internet Archive, you can find like 2 versions of the short there, but both of them are just really rough, but they have very nice illustrations by Walt Kelly, and I think his third wife, Selby, might have helped on it also. Excuse me. I've been talking way too long. You know how there's mukbang videos where people just eat so much on camera? Like, what if I just did a coughing fit video where all I do is just, I don't know, cough for an hour or two? Make that the new ASMR craze or something. Hearing a person just cough a bunch. I'm gonna put those back, and also put back my Secret Wars poster that I have on the ground because I have nowhere else to put it. Put that away, and then I'll get to working on Ken the Nekomata's animation. Is there anything else I bought from flea markets that I have in here? It's kind of neat to show off. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned before. Have I shown this off before on screen? I know I showed Wax Badger when he visited. My Snaggle Plus animation cell that's signed by Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera. I got this at a different flea market, and the animation cell comes from Yogi Bear and the Magic Space, not space, the Spruce Moose or something. It's some sort of magic airplane called a Spruce Moose. That's where the frame comes from. Yeah. Heavens, the Murgatroyd! Yeah, do I have anything else that's I got from a flea market? Oh! Yeah, here's another. Yeah, this was from another visit. Yeah, a bunch of comic book cards. Oops. Yeah, again, I just like to I just like the artwork on them. What drawing program do you use? I use Sketchbook Pro. I've also done GIMP, Photoshop. I use those 3 programs on my regular computer, and then on my iPad I've got a Procreate. I used to animate in Adobe Flash before that was discontinued. You know, like one of these days maybe I'll draw my characters in I don't know, like playing card style or something. Playing card, like trading card, I mean. There's Dr. Doom right there. I don't remember if I've shown this off before in a stream or not. This is a comic I got from the Alameda County Fair like a month or 2 ago. I just liked it because it just felt kind of funnily ironic. Where is it? Well, there's actually 2 covers that are kind of, I don't know, ironic. Let's see if I can find the other one. These 2 issues I got. Okay, comics I want to show off really quick. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Super Ultra Maru. Yeah, so anyway, this old Shang-Chi comic, like, I got this years before the movie and before I knew who Shang-Chi was supposed to be, but this was something one of my karate instructors as a kid gave me. And so it's kind of neat to find this, little memento from when I took karate. But anyway, one of the comics I got at the Alameda County Fair was this. What if Doctor Doom became Sorcerer Supreme? I showed this to my friend Keyblade Raccoon, and he told me, oh, that's the storyline they're doing right now, where Doctor Doom becomes Sorcerer Supreme. So it's like, now this issue is canon. And then the other one that, the other cover I thought was really ironic. Ta-da! Yeah. Iron Man and Doctor Doom on the same cover. Both actors, both characters that are going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. So, kind of crazy. Yeah. All right, I'll put these away. Yeah, I don't know. Is it okay for me to talk about movie spoilers now? Like, Fantastic Four First Steps has been out for a while. So, and plus the scene in question's probably leaked online. They showed off Tony Von Doom for the first time in Fantastic Four, although it's only for like 5 seconds at the end of the, as the mid-credits stinger, and it's like, we just see him from behind. We don't know what Doom's gonna look like aside from just seeing his cloak from behind and his mask. And I'm kind of a bit concerned that what they might do, since Robert Downey Jr. has in his contracts that his face has to be visible for a certain amount of time when he does a movie. Like, I'm gonna suspect that they might have his face get healed by Franklin Richards or something, and so he doesn't have to wear the mask, and that'll be their excuse for why they can show off Robert Downey Jr.'s face for the whole movie or something. I don't know. But anyway, let me start on the animation portion. I just realized it might be time to feed the dogs soon. Yeah, let me shrink down the frame once again. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I've got so far. I'm going to bring up video reference on my phone. Let's see. Yeah, so this is what I have so far. I've been mostly animating the rabbit character here, Bomb, and not really animating the mouse Baccio too much. So there are some things like I like to fix. Like, we go through, like, now, for those of you, anyone who's new, this animation commission is supposed to be based on a scene from this old Mickey Mouse cartoon called Mickey's Polo Team, and there's some celebrities that make cameos. There's a scene with Charlie Chaplin, but here we have Clark Gable appear, and basically Ken the Nekomata's characters act out this scene where Clarabelle Cow rings her bell, and then Clark Gable wiggles his ears at Clarabelle. Hopefully Disney does not copyright strike me for showing a segment from this cartoon if I post this on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to be animating Ken's characters acting this scene out. And one thing, going over the animation, like if I go frame by frame, yeah, one thing I thought of, like, I don't know, either getting rid of, like, I have Baccio like leans back further or something. I was thinking of like maybe just keeping Baccio in this pose for a few seconds, and then he transitions to the ear wiggling animation. So that's something I'd probably change. And for the kiss, like I do like, you know, the squashy, you know, like I'm trying to decide, like, do I like this kiss just being something that's done happens really fast, or should I like have the kiss hold for an extra couple frames or something? That's something I'm trying to decide. I was like going over the animation, like something funny I thought of was like maybe when Bomb retracts the kiss, like maybe have an effect where her lips stretch and like as she moves her head away, that like her lips are still stuck to Bacchio's head, and then they snap back into place or something, like a funny toony effect I could have. I mean, I'm sure there's animated kisses that are like that. So, and then I'll make Baccio look like she, not Baccio, Bomb look like she spins and looks dizzy after the kiss. Yeah, because I only have that as just still frames right now, so let's draw that. I've meticulously like labeled, you know, keyframes and breakdowns. So I have I inserted this into the animatic? Let me check. Oh yes, I have. I might want to maybe put another in between here where she starts to act dizzy, just to smooth it out a bit. There we go. I'm probably doing this a bit inconveniently, drawing this frame by frame in Sketchbook Pro. I don't think Sketchbook Pro is supposed to be an animation program, but I have my previous animation I've done for Ken the Nekomata. I drew it in Sketchbook Pro, where I have one of his characters wiggling their ears, kind of like Dopey. Let's turn the head around a bit more. So she's looking a little more straightforward at the audience. And maybe I'll tilt the head slightly. Whoops, a little too much. Like we're about to transition into her looking dizzy. Maybe I'll have her look a bit cross-eyed, make her look like she's high or something. Just slightly move the face over a little bit. Maybe I'll have the ears look a little more straight. to adjust. Yeah, the heads here aren't as big as they are in the first frame, so I do plan to eventually redraw these all to be more on model and everything. But I when I try to clean up all these frames, I'll make the heads bigger and try to make the body more correctly sized. I mean, right now I'm just trying to get the basic animation, like how long is every action going to be and everything, and time everything out. Just trying to. Body is right there. Maybe I'll move this just a little bit. Close. I don't know. Dizzy 2. Dizzy 2 and Dizzy 1. I guess I'll have I guess I'll duplicate this one, merge it with this one. Maybe I'll change have Boccia look more straight. Closer to next frame over here. Have ears look more straight also. Just to not have his body stay completely still, maybe relaxes his arm a little. His robot hand. Yeah, I probably should. Maybe I should. There. let's see. My last two. Let's rewatch. How does the Disney cartoon do it? So Clarabelle just sits still and her eyes spin around. She's got a little tornado around her head, but I don't know. I did a photo ref version of this to help me animate Bomb and Bacchio's actions, but what I forgot how exactly what Clarabelle does when I shot my reference video, and I do this sort of going in circles in my seat. I don't know, almost making it look like Bomb is drunk or something and she's off balance. So I don't know. I might deviate from the animation, from the Disney animation, and put my own spin on it, on how she reacts after kissing Baccio. Yeah, so let's. So maybe I'll duplicate this. Yeah, maybe I'll keep the silly sort of expression. I just. Maybe I should, if I was gonna just clean up like this, have her go around this, kind of like in a circle in her seat. So I'll have her lean over this way. Looking all cuckoo. Have her ears lean over like this. I'm not sure what Dizzy. I'll just say Disney X because I don't know. What number this will be. this frame go? I accidentally... this frame. Why is this not visible? Is this some sort of glitch? Oh, that's what happened. That is strange. Now let's have her lean the other way. Totally zonked out. Mom is going to look like she's on drugs or something. You generally want to see these photo refs? I could probably show you over Discord. I don't know if I feel... I mean, I could show this, but it's just... My room's a bit of a mess. Like, if you want to see me... Here. If I... Oh. I don't remember... I think this is me acting as a... As Baccio. It's probably not very visible on camera because it's... Maybe I should just lower the darkness. Just a moment. Let me... There I am, acting out a mom with a collar to represent her bell. Like I thought of changing how she moves the bell around. Like instead of holding it in her hand, like maybe she, like shakes the whole collar. And then there I am. I do the hug twice because I wasn't happy with the first one. And act out the kiss, and then I shake around dizzy. And for Bomb, I don't have goggles, so I just held my own glasses. And I can't wiggle my ears, so I just nodded my head up and down a few times. Yeah, that's... giving you a little glimpse of what animators have to do if they want to have, like, good-looking animation. Like, I'm sure if you look up Disney films, like Disney reference animation or something, you could see, like, they had live actors wearing clothes and looking like the characters, just so they can draw things to look right. And that's how they developed the 12 principles of animation. Although my little sheet I have on my wall, I actually have 14 principles. Excuse me. Squash and stretch, anticipation, staging, straight ahead action, pose to pose, follow through and overlapping action, slow in, slow out, arcs, secondary action, timing, exaggeration, solid drawing, appeal. And then as 13 and 14 I have opposing actions and silhouette value. And I have that taped on my wall. I did not say that off, like I memorize it. I'm ashamed to admit I've not memorized all 12 principles off the top of my head. But as another reminder, I even have this ruler thing. It's probably a bit dusty. Is it up? Oh, I had it upside down. Like I got this at my school. Like it's a ruler with all 12 principles on it. Squash, interest, stretch, anticipation, so on and so forth. I don't know if I've ever actually used this ruler. Like it's just a bit thick for me. Like I just used the metal rulers. But I don't know, if you're like animating something in you need to draw a straight line, having this on hand is like very useful. Cool. There we go. I'm like shrinking and growing this frame like every 30 seconds or something. Keep the size of the head consistent. That's one of the challenges of animation if you're drawing frame by frame, like making sure things stay the same size. Have our hand, I guess, flatten. Well, I'll see how it looks. And while she's spinning around, we'll have Baccio like maybe rub his cheek with his mechanical hand, like I don't know, he's wiping the kiss off or something. It'd probably be easier if he used his non-mechanical hand or something, but I know it was on. Wait, if it was on the lips, if this is a kiss on the lips, not the cheek, then I don't know. It probably wouldn't make a lot of sense if he's rubbing his cheek because this was a lip kiss. I don't know. Maybe I have Baccio going. I don't know. That would if he did do that, that would make it seem like the kiss was ungrateful or something. Maybe just blushing or something is fine. Yeah, no spitting. I see. How did Clark Gable react to being kissed? He just blushes. Oh, yeah, he puts his hand on his cheek also, so... Okay, so I was just being faithful to the animation. My bad. Now, I guess for another in-between, maybe I... Yeah, maybe I'll have like 4 in-betweens or something. Show a bomb. Like, looking all dizzy. Having her eyes misaligned. Suddenly I'm thinking of like a particular Garfield meme. Oh, speaking of Garfield, they showed Andrew Garfield. Garfield eyes meme. No, not that. There's a certain meme where Garfield goes wall-eyed or something. There we go. That's it. Googly-eyed Garfield. There's a bunch of comics where, like, I don't know. It's a strange subtrope of Garfield parodies where Garfield stares at John with misaligned eyes, and then John's eyes go misaligned. And I see a particular image that I probably should not show on Twitch. Breast eyes. No, why not be faithful to... I was just trying to think of should I be totally faithful to the animation, or should I just do my own thing? Like, the way I was acting out trying to act it out on camera. It's like, I just want to do my own thing. The spinning around dizzy, could be like a more exaggerated way to show a character kind of dazed and kind of like going a little loopy after doing a kiss. Maybe. Come on. I'm watching my video. Oh, there we go. Trying to skip ahead. curious how this animation will look. Okay, I want to test something out. I just want to see, like, make sure this doesn't, like, look too fast or something when I put it in motion. So let me close that. Oh, jeez. Animation 4. Okay, I want to test something out. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so. Where's the... Shoot. Railing. So I can... Oops. You'll see what I'm doing in a moment. Just taking these particular frames. Just want to see what they'll look like on repeat. I just want to see, am I going to have more frames? Playback. That looks a little too fast. I probably should add like a few more frames. It looks like Bomb's having a seizure or something while standing up. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's just how GIMP makes things look when you try to animate it, but I don't know. I kind of almost want to make this an animation on its own. Just seeing her bob up and down like this. Okay, I'm gonna add some more frames to this just so it doesn't look so janky. I'll keep this here. Okay. Just, okay. Gonna take that back into Sketchbook Pro. And fix this animation. Okay, let's add some more in-betweens for these. We'll just say Dizzy and Anticipation 1. I mean, it says Dizzy Ante 1 and 2, but Ante is short for anticipation. To be like, you know, this goes into the Dizzy animation. Dizzy Disney. Okay. So we're going to in between these things. And have it look a little more smooth. So, I'm going to take a short break. Just, I'm going to get some food. Or, actually, wait. There we go. I'll go with this version. With the dancing spheres. Alright. So, BRB. There we go. Big, fat, hairy deal. Yeah. There we go. I'm wearing sacred Garfield robes. And not the robes that Peter the Cat wears, my own set of Garfield robes. I got a bit chilly, so I thought I'd dress a little warmer. Here we go. I have to look at my body. You know, does it say the Garfield movie or just Garfield? It'd be funny if the pajamas said the Garfield movie on it. Like, I don't know, you're not sure what sort of Garfield thing it's supposed to be advertising. Does it have like a tag on the inside that says the Garfield movie? Fine. Okay. How funny would it be if, like... Oops, my bad. Hopefully... Oh, there they are. Here, let's have representations of all the theatrical Garfield movies with me. Right here. There we go. We got 2004 Garfield, 2006 Garfield, although while this is called, I think this Beanie Baby is called His Majesty, I like to kind of think of it as Prince from Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties, and of course Chris Prattfield, which is what my jammies here symbolize. Oh, and I also have Baby Garfield, of course. Yeah, Baby Garfield's in the movie for like 5-10 minutes and, you know, gets a ton of merchandise. This is Garfield in his larval state. You have to feed him a lot of lasagna to get him to become this. And what I find funny, you know, I'm gonna get distracted again. Let me look up the ugly Garfield doll. Let's see. Ugly Garfield plush. Not those plushes. Those ones look nice. The one that's like a meme. This one. Yeah, what's funny is that you compare the ugly bootleg Garfield plush to like to the official ones for the 2004 and 2006 movies, and it's like, I don't know, they look very similar. I'm gonna guess that ugly Garfield plush is like probably supposed to be a bootleg of one of these. I mean, the resemblance is kind of very, very similar. And they just call it ugly fat cat plush. Yeah, trying to get around copyright, just saying it's an ugly fat cat plush. That just, and then what the hell is this here? They just put the eyes on the ears. Okay, well, what's this here? Is this like, oh, they made little costumes for it? Why is Ed Sheeran there? They just randomly put his face next to Garfield. Like, I don't know, is Ed Sheeran like, is he like a Garfield fan or something? Or is it just because, I don't know, he's got, you know, reddish hair. It makes people think Garfield's orange fur or something. I don't know. And I see that people dress them up very differently. There's Boogie, what's his name, and shoot, what's this guy's name again? Phalis, or is it something else? I know he was formerly part of Channel Awesome. I don't know. Let's play with the German here. Butt ugly Garfield doll.
Potthässliche Garfield-Puppe.
Okay, this is probably, you know, an awkward machine translation, but I don't know. If you want to say you have a butt ugly Garfield doll, there it is in German. Or maybe I own a butt ugly Garfield doll.
Ich besitze eine potthässliche Garfield-Puppe.
Yeah, if there's anyone that's fluent in German, maybe you could like get a much more coherent sentence that's not obviously Google translated. Alright, so there we go. Oh wait, they're not on camera. I guess I'll shift this direction. There we go. There we are. There we are. Well, adult Garfield. There, now he's in frame. There we go. All of them are watching me. Watching and judging silently. I have considered having Peter the Cat or Domino the guinea pig guest star in an episode, or potentially an arc for my series. Unfortunately, Peter's love for Garfield, or even mentioning Garfield, can't be mentioned, but he can enjoy lasagna. Oh, well, thank you for considering guest starring my own characters. You know, is lasagna illegal in your series or something, so it can't be mentioned? Seeing where the eyes are. Well, they're already. I mean, I'll figure out the eyes on their own. Maybe draw them more on the sides. Just this weird, vacant, blank stare. Okay. Dim J. Funny you say Dim Javis, because there is a parody comic of Garfield called Barfield, and the creator of the parody is anonymous, and they said they just called himself Dim Javis. I cannot show Barfield on stream because some of the parody comics have like X-rated content. I have thought about doing a video where I like tier list very different Garfield parodies, and Barfield would be I don't know. I could probably describe a few comics, but where like it's just Garfield but more disgusting. But I can't like I can't like go into too much detail. And I hear my family.
Stupid and not looking at his bowl.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if my brother and my dad's voices were audible on camera, but they're having trouble feeding Scamp or something. Like, I had trouble feeding Scamp when my family went on vacation, like a week or two ago. And, I don't know, even when, you know, I don't know why Scamp is so picky. I don't know if it's just he doesn't like his food, or I don't know, he just likes being a brat. Calling a skunk stinky or sprayer, that's racist. A racist stereotype in my series. Huh. Well, if my skunk character Simon ever like makes a guest appearance in your series, you know, if someone calls him stinky, they'll be prosecuted with the full force of the law or something. That's one of those characters I've rarely drawn. Like, he'll appear in like full cast drawings, but aside from the one drawing where I have him discover Bromos the malodorous dragon, like, I haven't really given him a starring role in anything. Poor Simon. Actually, I was reading this earlier, a Bloom County book I got. Like, and they have an interview with Berkeley Breathed. And at one point, he's asked about regrets or, like, changes he wished he'd made to his comic. And one of the things he said was, what is it? Question: are there any characters that, looking back, you wish you'd used more, done more with? And Berkeley Breath answers, regrets. All sorts of areas. More to the point, there are characters that I wish I'd ignored. Frankly, dead ends. The price of an ensemble comic strip, of course. I think Bill Watterson of Calvin and Hobbes, had the right idea. Keep the cast to a minimum, and make sure you have one superb, complicated relationship to explore. It's how I would do it again if life were to be rewound. Yeah, so, like, if I were to count up all my characters, like, including the old ones I'm reviving, like, probably have, like, over 50 characters or something, so it's, like, a question like that and an answer from Berkeley Breathed like that, it, like, kind of gives me pause, like, I have so many characters, you know, should I just cut out the extraneous ones and only focus on, you know, the ones around Domino and Peter, like, the ones I have appear the most, that I have the most fun with, or... I kind of do want to, like, you know, what if we have adventures with Uncle Weird and Aunt Brazil or something? Yeah, but I do like that he mentions Bill Watterson of all people, because I know if you have the 10th anniversary Calvin and Hobbes book, Bill Watterson briefly mentions a character he introduced named Uncle Max, and, like, originally he thought, oh, I could have Uncle Max visit every once in a while and, you know, do wacky stuff with Calvin's family, but then after he did the story, it's like, he didn't think Uncle Max was really all that interesting, and he found it difficult to like write dialogue with Uncle Max not saying Calvin the names of Calvin's parents, because that's kind of one of the rules in Calvin and Hobbes is that you never hear the names of Calvin's parents, and so he's just like Max is gone, making it sound like I don't know he killed Max off or something off screen. But then like I see articles from people wondering, saying they actually liked Uncle Max even though he was only in the comic for like a week or something. And I think I saw a what was it, a cracked list talking about Uncle Max, and the author thought, Uncle Max is like the one adult that Calvin gets along with. So like, why would you cut Max out? That this could be an interesting dynamic where this is the one adult that Calvin respects. And I don't know. I thought that author made an interesting point, but I guess I don't know. Calvin getting along with someone that isn't Hobbes, I guess Bill Watterson doesn't find intriguing. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Excuse me. Dos. Hmm. Oh, I should. I forgot. I should. Okay. So this will be Dizzy Frame 4. Dizzy 6. And Dizzy 8. Okay, so in between I'll save. I've never read One Piece, so I don't know how. What is One Piece a comic with a ton and tons of characters? All I know about One Piece is that 4Kids did a really terrible dub when they first brought the cartoon to America, and they like censored guns. I've seen the screenshot where they do an awkward edit where in the Japanese version one of the characters is holding a gun to another character's head, and then in the English dub 4Kids edit it to be like some sort of hammer thing, but it's attached to like a trigger thing, so they can like, instead of just redrawing the hand, they kept the hand the same, but it's like a spring-loaded hammer that has a trigger as the thing that launches the hammer, I guess. To try to very awkwardly, have the hand still around a gun trigger, but he's not holding an actual gun. Except in long shots where they forgot to remove the hammer and they still have the gun there. I mean, it's almost an edit as goofy as the time Brock said, I love these jelly-filled donuts, but he's actually holding a rice ball. And maybe I should do a comic where, I don't know, I have my Japanese dragon Basho holding a rice bowl, and he calls it a jelly donut as a joke or something. Or maybe someone else, like maybe Peter the Cat calls it a jelly donut to annoy Basho. Hmm. Maybe draw the eyes just a little bit. Well, I have the eyes make a full circle. The hammer springy thingy. That's what it's called. The hammer springy thingy. That's its official name. Okay. One piece hammer gun. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Wow, they're calling it the strongest weapon. Wow. I mean, you have, the Infinity Gauntlet in the Marvel universe, but but it's no match for this spring hammer. Yeah. This is the strongest weapon ever. Huh. Just, okay, so the ears start to lean over a little bit. While I'm drawing this, I'm thinking of the crazy Wario music from Wario Land 2. When in the English version, if Wario gets hit by this ball that penguins throw, he starts acting dizzy or something. But then in the Japanese version, it makes a lot more sense where they throw beer at him. Another example of, like, I don't know, American children are too sensitive to handle the really shocking adult content in the Japanese version. We can't handle watching Wario get drunk. very interested to see how this animation looks when I finish it. If anything, I see myself as wanting to be the next Shigeru Miyamoto, minus the parts where he was allegedly insufferable to be around when developing Star Fox 2 and everything else that makes the anti-story obligation. Yeah, I've seen the Guru Larry video where the 5 times Miyamoto was an asshole, where allegedly Nintendo, like, I think the story goes that Argonaut wanted to make a Yoshi game or something, and apparently they did a prototype or something. They showed it to Shigeru Miyamoto, and then he took their ideas and made Super Mario 64 or something like that. And they changed Yoshi to a crocodile or a dinosaur. And then there was I know he took ideas from Star Fox 2 to make Star Fox 64. I don't know. Although, eventually Nintendo came around and released Star Fox 2 on the Super NES Mini and on the Switch. So I guess now Star Fox 2 is officially part of Star Fox canon, I guess, somehow. I'm going to resize his head just a little bit, just to make it a little bit bigger. Although I might have to adjust the ears, I don't know. Just so the ears aren't too long. Okay, that looks good. Okay, just move bomb to the side a little bit. Oh god, this is gonna look so weird. This is gonna look like a strange dance, I think. I'm just thinking, I have a friend named Terry the Bunny, who's really into Roger Rabbit. I'm thinking, what if I showed him this animation? Here's this rabbit I'm animating, acting kind of drunk. Well, not literally drunk, but but Bomb is so enamored after doing this kiss is just. Okay, maybe I draw where the head will be. Dizzy number 8. Might have to shift the head over on frame 1 a bit more. Maybe have it more like this. I don't know. It's gonna look like a crazy dance.
I think the real reason Nintendo prioritizes gameplay over story is A, because they want to make games for the sake of making games, or B, they don't have proper writing team, and the writers they do have are either trash or not as impressive as many classic movies that constantly get parodied. I think I remembered, like, on the website GuineaPigDan, like clearing up misconceptions about the Zelda games, and it's even on TV tropes. Like, they had a link to like an old story where I think his name is Eiji Aonuma, basically saying that they started out when they did Twilight Princess. They started out with the story and then came up with gameplay or something. So it's like, story isn't always antithetical to Nintendo games. I know that with Metroid Other M, like I was about to say Satoshi Tajiri. That's Pokemon. What's his name? Sakamoto. That's Yoshio Sakamoto. That's it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like he did go with story first and then just, I don't know, came up with some questionable gameplay ideas afterward. And Team Ninja were kind of just the grunts, trying to implement his vision. I don't know, the less said about Other M, the better. Eventually, if I learn how to do connect my Switch to my computer for streams, I'd like to do gaming streams where I play games in Spanish and like do a little Spanish lesson with them. And one of my friends showed me he had a Super Famicom games on his Switch, and maybe I'll do something on my Switch to access the Japanese online store or whatever, or their virtual console, and play the Japanese versions of games. Like, I tried Star Fox on Super NES in Japanese, and like I thought it was kind of funny that in the Japanese version, General Pepper calls Fox-kun. I don't know, like, it's the honorific kun, but to an English speaker, it sounds like fox raccoon, Fox-kun, and there actually is a fursuiter / artist named Teddy Fox-kun. Although I don't think it's intentional to like. I don't think Teddy Fox-kun chose his species to sound like, a Japanese thing, Fox-kun. It's probably just, unless Teddy says otherwise. I don't know. I haven't seen him in years. Actually, wait. I can just embiggen his head this way. I don't have to include the ears. There we go. Lower the head a little bit like that. Now, have I remembered to include one's bell? Yeah. Make the head a little bigger. Mass Effect would like to have a word with you. I've not played Mass Effect. It's weird. Like, I've never played Mass Effect, but just through cultural osmosis, I know that the ending of Mass Effect 3 disappointed people so much that they had to include DLC to give you like a more satisfying ending. Like, I think I read, I don't know if it was like on Cracked or YouTube videos saying that originally they were going to have like a more satisfying ending that explained everything, but then for whatever reason they cut that all out, and then when they realized, oh shit, people don't like the trimmed ending, then they just gave us the full ending that they had intended originally, that they should have just given us beforehand. And I remember like something about a possession theory with the main character that turned out to not be true, but people wanted it to be true because it actually made more sense than, I don't know. Okay, maybe have the ears be. Just trying to look at how this motion looks. Whoops. So yeah, ears leaning back like that makes sense. Oops. It's just gonna look really, really goofy when it's finally done. I've got to ask you, Ken, since you've shared with me videos on like Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto doesn't care about stories, or like how is the Mario continuity supposed to work? Like, have you played Donkey Kong Bonanza yet? And what do you think of like them having young Pauline? Like, I've not played the game yet since I don't have a Switch 2, but it's like I have seen thumbnails on YouTube that are like saying, does this game break the Mario timeline or something? Like, I wasn't aware that there was a Mario timeline at all. Like, I kind of just assumed that when it comes to Mario, they don't really care about continuity that much. Because like in one game, Mario and Bowser are enemies, and then the next game they're just playing tennis or go-karting. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Gonna grow her head just a little bit more. gonna look so demented. Okay. Save. Now. Open recent. Let's see how this looks. There might be a few I changed, so... Just make sure that's this. No, it's frame 2. Okay, that's frame 3 the same. I just want to make sure that... And I didn't change anything. Oh, yeah, I changed... Oh, yeah, I changed the eyes a bit. So, I think frame 1 is the same. Frame 2. Frame 3. Okay, we'll have to change frame 3 because I forgot I adjusted the eyes. And we'll see how this looks, and then any changes I need to make. Like if it looks like a drawing is placed too far apart or too close to another frame, I'll just adjust it. Okay, frame 4. Frame 5. Okay, I did adjust frame 5 a little bit, so... Alright, frame 6. Frame 7. I think I did redraw the eyes a bit. So... And frame 8. Okay. Let's see how this looks now. arms I think could use a bit of... Arms I think could use some adjustment. They spaz out a little bit too much. But the head motion, I think, looks okay. The ears, I think, maybe could be exaggerated a bit more with how much they sway. But otherwise, this does look very strange. I think I liked it better when it was just 4 frames. Instead of like 8. If I take away those frames and look at it that way. I liked it better when it was like this. I mean, it just looks funnier when it's faster like this. It looks... And I don't know, she's... It looks like she's just dancing really weird. You know, kind of like Uncle Weird. Maybe if I ever do an animation with Uncle Weird, that's how I should animate his dances. Where they're like kind of janky and strange. When it's slower, it's like... It feels a little more graceful. I don't know. It's only beneficial proof just how terrible Nintendo's writing is, even for their story-centric franchises. If their writing sucks, gameplay is something they can always fall back on. Maybe that's why the Super Mario Brothers movie has a mid-score on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, well, I think the Super Mario Brothers movie has a mid-score on Rotten Tomatoes because it's professional critics who are reviewing the movie. It's not like families and children. You know, families that, you know, themselves... You know, the parents and grandparents who probably played the Mario games themselves on the NES and Super NES that are now taking their children to see the Mario movie, and you know, like critics expect to have, I don't know, they want their fine art artistic films or whatever. You know, kiddie fare like the Mario movie or the Garfield movie. Like, the Garfield movie is similar in that, like, it wasn't well reviewed with critics, but general audiences liked it better. Although you'll get that with some strange phenomena, like I think like critics hated the 2019 Lion King movie, but I'm trying to remember, did general audiences like that movie better? Lion King 2019 Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Yeah, this is a... Okay, I'm surprised. It's that, you know, like critics 52%, general audiences 88%. Like, yeah, you get movies where critics really hate it, but then general audiences are like, for some reason, they really like it. Why is War of the Worlds 0%? Which War of the Worlds is this? 20... Oh, like I saw something about a new War of the Worlds movie that just came out. Is that Ice-T? Like, who's in this movie? Yeah. Ice Cube. Why did I think Ice-T? I don't know. Like, I thought I saw something about, like, Ice Cube was in this movie. Yeah, like, I don't know. Is this movie supposed to be a joke or something? Well, it says sci-fi, adventure, drama, mystery, and thriller. It doesn't say comedy. I don't know. Oh, no. we go.
Der Krieg der Welten war eine beschissene Adaption.
There. Or yeah, how do I get it to say Shiza? There we go, Shiza.
Der Krieg der Welten war scheiße.
There we go. Hmm.
Der Garfield-Film aus dem Jahr 2024 wird von den Kritikern gehasst. So ein Schwachsinn.
I don't know. I like messing with Google Translate and I don't know, taking English phrases, translating them into other languages, and just hearing the computer say something outrageous. I don't know. Yeah. The plot of too many Garfield and Friends episodes is John is stupid and Garfield has to save him.
Die Handlung zu vieler Folgen von Garfield und seine Freunde besteht darin, dass John dumm ist und Garfield ihn retten muss.
Oh, the German word for stupid is just dumm. Wow. Like you'd think it'd be like some interesting German word, but no, it's just dumm. There. Yeah, I'm gonna go over this just one more time and make the arms less janky. And maybe adjust the ears a bit more, I don't know. Yeah, just going... Let's look at this frame by frame, and maybe I can figure out what I need to fix. So if I start there... like immediately having the arms pop like this, that's probably something to fix. Yeah, so fix frame 2 right here. I guess I'll go step by step. So if I have dizzy looking, well, let's see. Well, if the lead-in is like this, maybe I should have a frame where just realize like if Bomb's arms are going to be hanging at her sides, the lead-in should have her dropping her arms or something. Just, to avoid, another pop. There. So I have frame 2. I guess the first, the arms will be what I adjust, and then after that, I might adjust the ears a bit more just to make it look more like they're going in circles. So if I have the arms like this,
Okay.
so maybe I have to go the other way, so maybe I have maybe the arm relaxes a bit. Let's see. So, not have the arms be as extreme. Maybe. And frame 2. That looks fine. Well, let's see how this looks with my adjusted frame 2. I might have to edit this frame by frame until I get it to look right. Okay. Does this at least look fixed? Doesn't feel as extreme, just fixing one frame, but let's see if... I don't know. I mean, just adjusting one frame, it's already looking different. Maybe I should have the arm on the left, her left arm, like, go up a bit more. And keep this arm down on frame 4, so... And then have the arm go up a bit more on frame 4 here, so it matches this one. I don't know if I'll adjust frame 3. Frame 4, I want to raise this arm, keep this arm flat, and then raise this up. So let's adjust frame 4 next. And maybe I'll adjust frame 3, I don't know. And then I'll go over the ears and see if there's anything I could improve with the ears. Okay. So just that, flat. Make this look more like a mare of. Well, 1 and 4 are supposed to like right at the bat. Move this a little lower. There. Of course, I'll probably have to frame 4 or frame 5, I forget. Yeah, if it's frame 4 is when on the far right, that, yeah, I don't want to adjust that one too much. Maybe it's frame 5, if it's every 4 frames in the extreme, then. So keep, okay, so maybe don't move frame 4, keep the arm, so maybe if it's frame 5 I want to change. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's frame 5 I want to move over a bit and make it more extreme. I don't know. Actually, just move it downward just a little bit, maybe. Okay, so 4 and 5. Okay. 4 and 5 I'll try and fix. What Nintendo fans and Mario fans and Nintendo fans want in general of the games is some level of continuity, even if it's gameplay of older games in the corner of the screen like Super Mario Sunshine. You want to know that these games did happen. Not every game is just in its own personal bubble, so if Nintendo nor its community at large make that happen, then I will. Okay. Shoot, I'm trying to. Okay, so we do frame 4. And frame 5. My adjustment to frame 5. Okay, moved over just a bit. look at how this looks. Okay, the arms don't feel as crazy as before. Let's see. I think they look okay. But still, let's see how it looks when it's just 4 frames. Going back to like the really crazy head bob thing. Okay. One thing I'm sure I want to adjust is the ears. Let's go over frame by frame again. Like, I feel like the ears could be, like, they're a little too stiff. Yeah, like, look at this frame where I have them bending a lot. But then they don't bend too much. Yeah. Okay, I just saw that the stream disconnected. And I'm back. Okay. That was a little weird. Follower goal starting 661.70. Help me to get me to affiliate. I'm already at affiliate. What, did I lose it? Like, I just saw this. Well, since I'm in OBS Studio, you all would have seen it. Like, I thought it was already at an affiliate. That's just a bit strange. Unless they change the rules for affiliate again or something. Okay. So, let me clean up how the ears look here. Just a bit. And maybe I'll get rid of this arrow thing just because... I mean, it's supposed to be a guide. But it's like, it gets a little distracting when it just appears for 1 frame in my animation. Okay. So again, like, look at these two as kind of mirrors of each other. Let's make the ears more extreme. Well, let me do it like... yeah, more like this. Kind of. Have them bend over more. I know. Like I'm trying to think like how I want these ears to act. I'm kind of thinking like a rock star rolling their head around and their hair is, you know. Okay, now I'm a little dizzy. Whoa. Okay. All right. I made myself dizzy. Okay. So, trying to think. I want to redo the ears here. Trying to think like. Trying to think like how to exaggerate the motion of the ears even more. What if I had the ears in frame 3 like already like leaning this way? If I had the ears already leaning back really strong. Shoot. There we go. There we go. If I had the ears bend over a little bit more. Here's when frame 6, I guess, look more bendy. Like this is a really sudden change in direction. Kind of like frame 2. There we go. Alright. We'll have the ears, frame 7, like already. Sorry, let's look at frame 3. So just kind of mirror frame 3 a bit, but the other way. Shit. There we go. There. Okay, frame 8. I have the ears already. Here. Now, I don't know if this will look good at all. Here, Bomb is like, now she's become the Beast of Revelation. You know, she's got 8 heads. She just needs a, what was it? No. 7 heads, 10 horns. Well, I guess she went a step beyond. It's 8 heads and 16 ears. Let's see how this looks. She's like the Hydra now. Yeah, I kind of noticed that with Nintendo. There's like, I'm gonna borrow a phrase from like Star Wars. Lucas Gushers and Lucas Bashers. Like with Nintendo, you have the Nintendo Gushers and the Nintendo Bashers. Okay, so I guess frame 1, get rid of this arrow. I'm probably going to be replacing every frame as I redo the ears. I just want to see how this looks. And if it doesn't look good, then I can just redraw the ears again. Okay, I think frame 2 is the same, was it? Yeah, frame 2 is the same. Frame 3. Frame 4. Oops. Yeah, I made the ears bend over a little bit more. Now frame 5. I think I drew the ear of... Let's see. Yeah, I did draw the ears leaning over a bit more. And if I can't get it to look perfect, I can always fix it later. Frame 6. Did I change frame 6 at all, or did I keep it the same? Oh yeah, I did bend the ears over a bit more. Okay. Frame 7. Oops, it's underneath. And one of my friends wants to talk to me on Discord, so I'll probably just finish this animation really quick and then call it a night. I'll continue working on like Baccio rubbing his face after the cheek, and I'll do that off stream. Okay. And frame 8. I might resize that head. Is this the same? Oh no, I did. Redo the ears on this one too. And hopefully it looks alright. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to look. Okay, now the ears look a little too stiff. it looks like they're holding 2 still. It probably looked a bit better before. I mean, let's look this frame by frame. Okay, I think the problem is immediately having it turn the opposite. I should... Yeah. I should have probably kept them straight on frame 3 and frame 7. So let's fix those frames really quick. Frame 2 I think is okay. Frame 3, I should probably go back to having the ears be a bit more straight. Hmm. 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 Yeah. So maybe frame 6. Maybe not. Hmm. So I guess frame... Shit. Frame 2. Maybe have the ears still bending a bit. Hmm. It would be like kind of like this. ears are kind of bending. Let's see. Add 3 more. Standing up a bit more. To have the ears stand up a little bit more here, I guess. Oops. Here's a wreath. Okay. All right. We'll try this again. I'll do this one more time, and I'll see what my friend is up to. I should have worn like prop ears in my ref video, just so maybe that would have helped me like draw these better. Frame 3. Okay, this is different. So let's make sure everything's going the same way. Okay. Oops. Now let's see how this looks. There. Now. Looks a bit better. One of the ears pops a bit. I don't know. Let me. Okay, I think the ears in frame 7 are a little too long, so that's what's bothering me. Frame 4 and 5 and 8 and 1 might look a little too similar. I don't know. adjust frame 7 one more time. I'm going to just shorten the ears a little bit. Oops. Okay. Just out of curiosity. Okay, just want to make sure the ears are roughly the same length. Okay. How does this look? A little better. Still feel like there's a pop. I can't put my hand on it. You know, it looks a little better. I might have one of my animation friends look this over just to like double check and see if there's anything they see that I'm not seeing. Get a second pair of eyes to examine this. But again, let's see. Get rid of all the even frames. I just like seeing the 4-frame version of this. Where Bomb's just going crazy. What if it's just even frames? I'm going 1, 3, 5, and 7. But what if I do 2, 4, 6, 8? Who do we appreciate? An alternate version. Huh. This almost just looks just as good and as crazy. It almost looks a little better than when it's all odd frames, just having it be the diagonal points. I don't know. I just like this when it's kind of like it when it's the faster, jankier looking animation because it just looks more erratic. Like Baccio looks genuinely uncomfortable. It's like this. Like this could be a weird sort of internet meme. I don't know. Like, what the fuck is this rabbit doing? Just spazzing out. Yeah, I'm gonna save this as an animation on its own, actually. Just because it looks so strange. Eventually I'll like have some frames that go to, with Baccio, like, looking embarrassed and, rubbing his cheek. So I'm not gonna just end with Bomb, head banging or whatever. Yeah, I'll probably have Bomb, like, do this dizzy circle animation while Baccio, after a few seconds, he'll just, like, show his appreciation, rubbing his cheek. But still, it's just, I don't know. I kind of dig this very odd animation. I'm gonna save this. Oh, not that folder. Here. Save these frames on their own. Oh, I don't know. I'll call this, Bomb spins me around like a circle. Spin cycle, that's it. Bomb spin cycle. Just make this an animation on its own. Export as an animation. Optimize for GIF. And I'll send this to one of my animation friends just to get some critique. GIF. I'll just say Bomb spins cycle gif.gif. Okay, as animation, oops, and then by guinea pig. I can't even write my own name. Characters by Ken. Like, I don't know if there's any actual way to see the comment you put within a GIF animation, but I always put my own name, like animation by me, and since these are not my own characters, I say, these are Ken the Nekomata's characters. Okay. Now do the short version as well. Okay. Optimize for GIF. Export. Where is it? Bomb spin cycle. Oh, come on. Shit. I'll say short GIF. Just let me know that animation by GuineaPigDan / Shinku, characters by Ken the. There. I'll send that off to a friend and see what he thinks about this spin cycle. Okay, I should just probably call it a night. Well, pet names, huh? Yeah. Okay. I just thought of like one thing I didn't say when expounding about Dragoneer and all of his flaws. Yeah. Let me get something really quick. Yeah, because I want a prop to accentuate my point I want to make. All right. I guess I'll move the camera over here. Look at my wonderful Garfieldness. Wow. I even the camera like adjusted its exposure. I don't know why, but I don't know. Like I kind of talked a bit of shit about Dragoneer earlier, but I just want to say that I don't know. I'd rather we give honest appraisals of people, like, and I'm not exempting myself. When I die, I want people to like examine my life honestly and not go with an idealized version of myself. I know there's probably going to be some people out there that would maybe talk shit about me after I'm no longer able to defend myself or something. It's a weird balance you have to keep. Like there was a biography of John Lennon I liked called "Come Together" by John Wiener. I know an unfortunate last name, but it's like I know some people might not. I mentioned this in my "What do you do when your heroes do bad things" video, like way back in 2021. John Wiener, when he's talking about John Lennon's solo career after the Beatles, like he'll basically give his own opinion. He thought Imagine and Plastic Ono Band, Imagine and Double Fantasy were like his best solo albums, but everything else in between he kind of considers crap. Like I'm sure some people might not like a biography like that where he's editorializing, but at the same time it's like John Wiener doesn't idealize John Lennon. Like, he'll say, John Lennon did a good job on this album, but he didn't do a good job on that album, and there was these times where he kind of acted like a dick. Like, kind of giving an honest appraisal of John and seeing that he was a complicated person. There were times where John was a nice guy, and then there were times where John Lennon was like a total asshole. And there's still that debate going on decades after John has been dead, like looking back, like was he someone we should really admire? And there are some people that go a little too far in one direction, where these are the props I wanted to bring up. Albert Goldman, who one of those biographers who goes a bit too far in the direction of demonizing his subjects, like to the point that it's more for sensationalism. So that's you don't want to idealize someone too much, but you also don't want to just focus way too much on their flaws to the point where Goldman was just doing it kind of just to sell copies. Like I don't know, but it's just I want people to look at my life fairly. If I'm gonna talk shit about Dragoneer after he's gone, I should not exempt myself. Yeah, I want people to like look at my successes and my failures and learn from them, basically. So I don't know. That's my sermon. That's my TED talk for tonight. Whatever. I'm just rambling. I don't know. Well, I guess I'll call it a night now. So thank you very much for watching. I'll probably continue working on the animation off stream and send a work in progress to Ken and integrate that spin cycle into the full animatic and see how it looks. So anyway, as usual, follow me on DeviantArt, Weasel, Shitter, or don't, because Shitter is dying. Blue Sky, which is basically Twitter Junior, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr. I don't know if there's other websites I'm on that I'm forgetting aside from Twitch. Like, I think I made an account on Behance years ago, which is like a more professional art website, but like I haven't used it in like a decade. yeah, of course I'm for Shinko and Fur Affinity. And if you want to buy my crap, you know, merchandise and everything, you can check out my cafe press. You know, I'm I don't want to say I'm you know whating myself, but I don't know, capitalism, baby. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble and everything. Gracias por la visita. So, good night, everyone. Buenas noches. I'm not going to do the Howard Bloom impression this time. I'm just going to end regularly.